Alright, we got a short video today. It's just going to be installing a LED light bar that goes under the tailgate. Has the the strobing blinkers and reverse and brake lights. And it's just this strip here. I think the only wire we're going to have to hook up is the red wire, and that is for the reverse. Let's see that. Has an inline fuse on the ground, I believe. The blue is the ground, and it just has a regular 4-pin connector as you were hooking up a trailer or something like that. So I could just wire this right in, that way I don't have to unplug it and plug it whenever I got a trailer. But if you got a trailer, people are probably not going to be paying attention to that. So first thing is going to be getting this back here cleaned up. You can pop your tailgate off if you want, but I have these shocks on there to make the tailgate drop slowly, if you've seen that or not. I do have a video on that. So it makes taking the tailgate off a little bit harder. I have one on each side. You really only need one, but I wanted one on both sides. But so we're gonna try to get our hands down in here, get that cleaned up really good, wipe down, and then this comes with 3M tape already on it on the back. It seems pretty thin, and then you have these big things on the ends. So thinking the ends are probably going to stick up just a little bit. Hopefully we can get it clean enough to get it stuck down. If not, I'd have to get some thicker 3M tape and redo it. Alright, now we got that all cleaned up with soap and water inside of there. So now we're going to let it dry and then hit it with some alcohol. Okay, while that's drying now, I got it wiped down with the alcohol. So next thing you're going to want to do is pull your driver's side tail light out, which these are 15/16 screws. 15/16 screws, but they also have like a little tab inside to kind of hold it in place right there. So then you pop this one out, that one out, and remember your bottom one is your reverse. So then you got two black wires here. One's black with looks like a purple line, and the other one's solid black. I'm gonna have to figure out which one of those is power and which one is ground. You want to hook this red wire to the power, and I don't know if you see inside there where those harnesses are coming in at. It's kind of the same spot you want to run that red wire up into the light housing area here. So let me get those pulled out and then get you back on. Alright, so after that, I got a little bit of this cleaned up inside of there too. I know nobody's gonna see it, but I know it's there, so I cleaned it up a little bit. It's got a bunch of real marks from the lights being over there. I mean, this truck's 20 years old, and I don't care. I just wanted it clean because I'm in there. So what I did was drop the light bar down there, and I dropped a hanger down that hole. Let's see if you can see in there. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it in there, but way down there, that square hole here is where I dropped it down, so that I could attach this red wire to the hanger. I got it kind of bend in the end here. Got to bend up here so it don't pull all the way through. So I'm just gonna attach this some kind of simple way. Probably just tie a knot in it like that. Huh. God dang it. Thought I had a pretty good one-handed knot there. Alright. It don't want to stay. So I'm gonna pull this up. There we go. So then just detach that. I'll pick that hanger up later. Now my wire for my reverse lights in here, and I need to see, I think this middle one is the blinkers. This bottom one, I believe, is the brakes. Not really sure, so I'm gonna test that real quick just to make sure. I'm gonna just go ahead and hit the brakes on it and see where or which one of these lights up. Let's see where can I put this. You know what? It didn't do anything because I don't have it plugged up. Genius. So let's get this plugged in here. That's where it'll end up being. I'm sure I'll just route it and zip tie it up there somehow. But for now, we need to see what's what as far as blinkers. The blinkers I know are the middle. Not sure about the brakes in the reverse. Alright, now I have to stop the video and see which ones it was. What do you guys say? I'm gonna say it's the ones on this side here. I think the white ones might be the red blinkers, and these yellower looking ones here are probably the white reverse lights. Alright, so it looks like I was right. These white ones here are your brakes. The orange ones in the middle are your blinkers, and the yellow ones are your reverse. So now I'm gonna take, inside of here you got two connections. You can see those metal tabs in there. I'm just gonna cut this end, stick it in there, and see which one the reverse light comes on with, and whichever one that is, that's the one I'll splice back here. Alright, so I found which one is the actual power. The one with the purple wire or purple line is the power. The other one is just your ground, which makes sense because it's just solid black, so like a ground. But you look up here and you got all kind of stuff on. So, but you got blinkers, brake lights, and other stuff in there too. So now that we know that, let's pull that back out of there, and we'll splice into this purple line black wire. Alright, so this is what I got here. Got these little splice connectors. Sometimes they're not the greatest, so you gotta kind of really pinch them, and then I use a set of pliers to pinch them down real tight. And your other end is like a spade connector. And just connect those two up. If I can get it with one hand, I doubt it. Like that, and that's all you got as far as connection go. Then go ahead and plug your tail light back up. Alright, let's get that tail light put back in there. Look at that tail light. I waxed the truck. Got it all shined up. Took about 3 hours again, I say. But she looking good. While waxing, I noticed that one of my cab corners, the tops, are missing. We had a hailstorm not long ago that it actually broke two pieces off of there. It broke two mirrors, one on this side and one on that side, and it put a hole in that thing there. Then I got two new dents. I got one on the hood and one here. I don't know if you can really see it, but anyway, that's not what the video's about. But now I noticed that that's missing after the two pieces were broken out of it. So I'm guessing air must have caught it and pulled it out. So I had to get a new one. But let's get back to this. So now plug the headlight back in and then go from there. One thing I wanted to point out really fast is these are color coded. So this piece comes off of this stays on the tail light. So you won't be able to get them mixed up, and also they're not the same connectors anyway, but still, like while you're doing your wiring, if you forget, you don't have to put this all back together just to see if that's your reverse, even though you can see here that that's the reverse at the bottom. But I don't know how you can mix it up, but if just in case, you know, the green is down at the bottom, that's your reverse. Everything else up top brown. All right, got the tail light back in there. All right. Now, make sure you put your screws back in. This one looks like it's hard to get to because of the shock, but it's actually not at all hard to get to. You can get to it back there pretty easy. So now, you want to try to get this. It's going to be kind of hard to get this measured out because it's bent. I should have took it out hours ago, but since it's curved, because it's been in the packaging, I'm going to try to lay it out and see where it's centered at before I pull the end off here and start trying to get it put in there evenly without removing this tailgate. I think the smart thing may be to remove this tailgate. I really don't feel like it. I don't want it to be messed up, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull the tailgate off. It can be done without the tailgate off. If this was one of the hard straight bars, I would probably just do it with the tailgate off, but I don't want it to be waving as it goes across here. So pull the tailgate off, kind of bend these tabs back, and these tabs here, pop a flathead in there and it pulls that back. You can pull that off of that ball. So pulling these off is really simple. You just take your small flathead screwdriver, stick it down in that hole. I get it pushed all the way in there as far as I can get it, and you see that releases those ears in there, those little arms that hold it. So I'm gonna pull it out so you can see. So you see those, I don't know if you can see in there. Let's get some light. All right, see those arms that are inside? This kind of helps release those, and then the ball just pops right out. See, now you can't see them in there. Let's see. So done that on both sides. Now I'm just gonna kind of hold these out also like that. Let the tailgate up a little, and then they'll slide right out. All right, like that. Let's get that moved back. Actually, well, those pop all the way off also. Slightly lift up and it comes out. Now I got the tailgate kind of sitting on my legs, so I'm gonna put this down and just pull this tailgate off. You lift this end out and this end comes off and that end kind of sits in there. So let me go ahead and pull this off because it's kind of heavy. All right, tailgate laying down. Now I can get in here and see where I want this thing and how I'm gonna get it to be straight. I think, let's see if I hold it here on that edge, how much I have extra on that end, and then I'll just split the difference. All right, so at first I had this right outside of these circles on each side, and they were lined up pretty good where this first set of LEDs was even with the bracket here right across it. But as I was pulling it and stretching, it got a little bit off, so now it's kind of sitting a little bit past it, but that's not bad. This is not, see all that empty space in there? So you don't want to go off of the length of this. You want to kind of pay attention to where your LEDs stop at on these things. Right. And I kind of try to keep it about a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, maybe, I'm not sure what that, maybe a 1/4 inch. Try to keep it about a 1/4 inch up, because when I looked at it from here, the bottom, which is the reverse, they were covered up by this plastic piece here, so you wouldn't have been able to see it nowhere but here in the middle. So I kind of kept it raised a little bit to where it's kind of even with the plastic. And what I'd done was I'd hold here, run a little bit, hold the other side with my other hand even, then I'd pull just a little bit. I probably only went maybe 3 or 4 inches at a time with pulling the 3M backing off of the tape, and then just kind of smashed it all the way through. It looks pretty good, it's even. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this. Probably just gonna zip tie it until I can get some wire loom, and then I'll wire loom it and then put it in there nicely. But that's it, so let's get that done. All right, so got it all zip tied up. Got one there, got one there. I got a couple here to pull it kind of behind it until I can get some wire loom. Then I'll redo it all. I'll wire loom it and do it right and nice, and then we'll come up here. So now, reversing the tailgate situation, you want to put this side back in first. Then you want to hinge onto this little swivel thing. I probably should put that back on first. All right, let's do it. All right, got the tailgate on. Took about 2 minutes. So these, you don't even have to worry about when you're putting them back on. They just slide and snap in. These also, they just push, snap on. No tools or anything needed to put this back together. So, let's see here. From down here, everything looks pretty good. Okay. So let's see where I can set this at. We'll go right there. It's gonna be kind of an angle. Let's see. Add something here. Let's get this done. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go do a light test. Don't like that light on. Alright, so don't like that don't like that when the blinkers are on, the tail light stays on. It's kind of confusing, even though it's red and amber, but still that one jumping back on that side is kind of weird, but I guess that's just the way that that's wired up. So it is what it is, but that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope that helped a little.